Hello, everybody. I'm Marío Linhares, and we are starting now another episode of SIPS of Science. And I'm broadcasting from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And today we have a special guest here with me. I've got Dr. Florian Kongoli and also Professor Haruhiko Inufusa. So we've got three continents. We are broadcasting from South America, North America, and Asia. I'm from Rio de Janeiro. Professor Inufusa is from Japan, and Dr. Florian Kongoli in Montreal. So I'd like to welcome everybody. And right before we start, this is a joint production between TV Onda Azul and FLOGEN Star Outreach. We are going to talk a lot about science and technology because this is SIPS of Science, and we're going to talk about the largest event on sustainability with technology and science. And I would like to welcome our guests tonight. We've got here Dr. Florian Kongoli and Professor Haruhiko Inufusa. Hello, everybody. Professor Inufusa, how are you? Thank you very much. It's good morning in Japan, right?
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, fine. Thank you.
Very good. And Dr. Florian, it's 6 o'clock p.m. in Montreal, right?
Yes. And in Rio.
7 o'clock in Rio. It's already dark because we're in winter here. And, well, let's go to business. Here at SIPS of Science, we talk about the largest event on sustainability through science and technology. And we're going to talk about a very special symposium that we're going to have. And we're going to be talking a lot about oxidative stress with one of the greatest specialists in the area. So I would like you to welcome him, Dr. Florian, and talk a little bit about SIPS before we start talking about Professor Inufusa's symposium.
Well, as you know, SIPS is a multidisciplinary summit. And this includes it's a 360 degree. It includes every field of science. And among them is medicine, and one of the stars of medicines in SIPS has been Oxidative Stress Symposium. This is the third year that we are organizing this. Previously, it was the first one was in Rio de Janeiro. Similar, and the second one it was in Paphos, Cyprus, and the third one it will be in Phuket, Thailand. Why this is important? As I said, we have 360 degrees. So we start for any field of science because life is like this. Life is like this. We live on Earth, but and then we are used with the conditions and we don't think. But if we take a back seat, for example, if we think about an astronaut goes to another planet, then we understand from extraction, processing, refining new metals, materials, quasi-crystals, nanomaterials, nanotechnology, and all these are applicable everywhere, especially in medicine and other sciences. But law is also included because it's part of life. When an astronaut goes in another planet, it's a complex event. We are on Earth and do not understand, but this is SIPS. SIPS includes everything. And why the health of human being is one of the big factors of sustainability. Sustainability, you have three criteria. First, protecting the environment, developing the economy, and developing the human being. And the human being falls medicine, falls oxidative stress. So if we want to be sustainable, we cannot escape the quality of life of human being. And here it enters, with a big pump, oxidative stress. Why? Because oxidative stress is, touches all sides of human being. Is related to any type of sickness. It's not specific to each sickness. Professor Inufusa will speak more in detail. I'm giving just the context of SIPS about oxidative stress. So it touches all human beings in all directions.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a kind of magical solution for human beings. So it increases the quality of life of human beings, but also it decreases it to is not only preventive, but also it is to fight the existing sickness. So this is basically uh, one of the factors, one of the three criteria of sustainability: human life index development. And in human life system development, we should start from oxidative stress because it covers everything.
Very good. Very good.
This is why oxidative stress is so important. Now it is also very successful. We will see Professor Inufusa is one of the is basically the organizer of this year coming symposium, which is dedicated to Professor Yoshikawa, which is another famous scientist in the field of oxidative stress. So basically, they are they are good colleagues of Professor Inufusa. They work together. So and the Professor Inufusa is organizing this symposium in his honor. Uh,
Very good.
Also, we should mention, it's very important, that Professor Inufusa was a recipient of a Game International. I have it here. You can see it here. Uh, it is Game International Innovation Award. Game is Nobel Prize in Physics in 2010, and the award bears his name. In 2000, and you can see here in 2018, he was a recipient of this prize exactly for inventing one of the strongest antioxidants in the world, developed in Japan and also verified from different laboratories, including in France and other countries. So he was a recipient of this, but now we are honoring his colleague. Uh, I would say will have a little bit of chance to speak about his 20, the star of his
Uh-huh.
invention. But performance, I did the context why oxidative stress is part of SIPS, and you already understood. So I'm leaving the word to Professor Inufusa to go in details what we're going to do in this symposium, what are the field covers covered by this symposium. There are many fields because I said it is kind of magical pills that covers all sicknesses and preventively and and fighting the existing sicknesses. So
Exactly.
uh, yeah, Professor Inufusa can speak more in detail. I'm going
Uh-huh.
back to the symposium.
Okay. Well, Professor Inufusa, as I said, thank you very much for being here today. I'm a big fan. We met each other in Rio de Janeiro 2018. I had the first chance of interviewing you then, and I became personally involved with your research because my father is a patient, is a cancer patient. Yes, he's got prostate cancer for 3.5 years now. It's been detected for 3.5 years, and it's impressive that for the past 3 years, his quality of life was. I mean, he was very like tired, and like that as a consequence of the sickness. Yes, his stamina was really low, so he didn't want to go out, walk, and it was a little over a month ago, right after he left intensive care unit, he started treatment with the MT control, and it was amazing that that after a month and a half, probably taking your MT control pills. I mean, he's another person. It's incredible. It's amazing. It's as if he went back like 5 years in time. I mean, he's exercising, and this after a month and a half after he left intensive care unit. I mean, every doctor said it would take him 3 to 4 months to get back to normal. And this is something I even promised Florian to Dr. Florian to send you all his exams and all his medical history so that you can use in further research, because it's amazing. Serious, it's amazing. I don't know how the exams will come out soon, but it's something like I tell Dr. Florian, it's a magic pill. It's incredible. He got back to life. So thank you very much. I'd like to start with this gratefulness. Thank you very much for this personal case, and I feel entitled to telling you this. So good morning in Japan, right? It's 7 o'clock in Japan now. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody, and then good evening. Thank you very much for Dr. Florian and Mario for the nice introduction of me. And I'm a little bit talking about that oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is coming from that oxygen, which we aspirate. And then we use this oxygen to producing the energy. Energy is, of course, coming from our food eating. One is the proteins, one is the fat, and then another one is carbohydrate, sugar. And then we use that oxygen, but some percent, like 2-3%, will not used. And then this production was metabolic process in mitochondria. And in our body cells have many mitochondria, and they producing that our energies. So it is very important. And then this remaining oxygen is converting to that oxidative stress. Of course, it is a gas. Gas is quickly metabolized to the many gas productions. And then finally, in our body, we'll produce final product. One of the final product is hydrogen peroxide. So hydrogen peroxide is using for that Clorox washing that clothes. Okay, so and then our immune systems using this hydrogen peroxide to destroy bacteria or virus, so that the oxidative stress is essentially protecting our bodies. However, maybe you directly touch to that hydrogen peroxide like a Clorox, and it is coming to that turn to white and then irritate. So inflammation start. So you can imagine in your body, hydrogen peroxide level is going up, whole your bodies have an inflammation. So this is a problem. And then that causes a lot of problem and then the disease. So that Professor Yoshikawa, he started that the oxidative stress research like 40 years ago. And then already at that time, he wrote a book like a dementia, cancer, infection, and diabetes, and so on, all are based on that oxidative stress. And then he did a lot of research on it. And then, of course, he's a very Professor Yoshikawa is very famous for that top of that scientist of oxidative stress research in the worldwide. But he says he could not achieve that one thing. He cannot find or produce that strong antioxidant. Okay. And then I started that my research especially oxidative stress, was started 2011. Accidentally, I found that my composition have a really strong antioxidant effects, and then it is not pharmaceuticals. And first one is 8 compositions, 8 ingredient of compositions, that is amino acid and the vitamins, and then coenzyme Q10. So that is a supplement, not pharmaceutical. But it has a really strong antioxidant effects. So in the case of that father of the Mario, he had prostate cancer, and then have a lot of treatment. And then what the cancer cell does is they want to protect that cancer cell by themselves.
Okay.
And then the cancer cells produces lots of oxidative stress. So if you check that blood of that advanced cancer patient, you can see that really high level of that hydrogen peroxide. So you can imagine that the hydrogen peroxide is colorless,
Okay.
increasing in your bodies, so that the whole inflammations, of course, it causes that you are tiredness. So that an advanced cancer patient have a really low level of the quality of life. Okay,
Exactly.
so yep, cannot eat or cannot move, or cannot think, because of the cancer producing that really strong oxidative stress that is damage on your whole body. And then what my invention was, which was uh, granted at the SIPS 2018 of the GAIM International Innovation Awards. Originally, it has a 7 ingredient. Already, it was very world strongest antioxidant. And then I succeeded to embed that the next productions that is called 20 mitocontrol, TMT, and that contains 15 ingredient. And then I succeeded to increase the antioxidant effect 150%. So that I strongly believe nobody cannot beat this antioxidant effects. So yeah, Mario further taking that my TMT,
Mm-hmm.
so that really strongly reduce the oxidative stress of him, and then all inflammation's gone. Okay, and then
Yes.
that's increasing that energy production as well, so that more energy comings, so that he's coming to a vigorous. That is the reason why Mario's father is have a good quality of life.
Professor, I understand it's incredible because, as I said, a month and a half ago, he left an intensive care unit without walking. I mean, he left the hospital in a wheelchair. Yes, and
Mhm.
then he had to use a walker for like. It was really sad to see him like with a walker because was a very active person. He is a very active person, and when I mean the I think Dr. Florian, the pills arrived like a week after he left the intensive care unit, wasn't it? After he
I think
left
a
the
week.
hospital.
Yeah, a week.
Yeah, a week,
A week.
like 5 or 6 or 7 days
Yeah.
after.
Yeah.
And when he started taking it, he was barely walking. I mean, he needed help to take a shower, to go to the bathroom, to eat. I mean, he was really, and the doctors predicted 3 to 4 months to get back to normal. And he started taking in less than a week. He was not using the walker anymore. He didn't need help to go to the bathroom, to take a shower. I mean, he was brand new, and today he's walking like he's having a normal life. It's something like magic. Uh, you explained
Yeah.
you explained scientifically what happened. He this is what it seems. he has more energy. I don't know
Yeah.
really the effect on his cancer, let's say, but as I said, the quality of life, it's something impressive. And I'm sure,
Well,
as I said, I was already a big fan. Now I'm really
uh,
grateful for that. It's magic. It's like a miracle drug. I don't
when
know.
yeah,
Sorry.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Uh,
much.
uh,
And,
when
and I'll
when
be glad. And I'll be glad to send you. He's going to be tested in 15 days,
Yeah,
probably.
that's what I was mentioning.
Let's see.
When it will be the next test?
In
When it will
15
be the next
days.
test?
In 15 days.
Yeah,
He's
that
going
will
to.
be very good. It will be
Yeah,
very
he's
good
going
to
to.
see.
Yeah, and probably I want to take him to Thailand because he said he wants to meet Professor Inufusa. And,
Sure.
Very nice.
and probably he can give a testimony at the symposium because it's really incredible. I'm amazed. Serious.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But
And actually,
Well,
continuing.
yeah,
I
Sorry.
have other
uh,
stories
uh,
also here. I have other stories here. Some of them I've sent it to Professor Inufusa. So
Uh
I
huh.
have a friend of mine that he's 70 years old. He's a
Uh
businessman.
huh.
He couldn't sleep only 3 hours per night. He used to come wake up at 3 o'clock, not more than 3 hours. He was nervous. He was in a bad mood every day. And when I gave this in 2 weeks, this is a completely different change to him. He's saying he's sleeping until 7 o'clock in the morning. He has a lot of energy, has a good mood, and as a 70 years old, he feels like I don't know if I can say it here, but in the morning he feels like he's a young man in terms of sexuality or something like this.
Wow.
Uh, so he's ready for everything in the morning. That's what he said. And by the way, he has called me when I was traveling in Brazil because he didn't have any more. I didn't have any more, and he wants to continue. So now that I came back, I have to meet him. And he has given to some of his friends, and we have a statistic of that. We have also our accountant has been our accountant since 1993, working for us. Today he is 87 years old. He's still an accountant every day, including Saturday.
Wow.
And this spills to him, and he cannot stay without them anymore. Right now he went for vacation in now right now he's in Jerusalem in Israel, and then before leaving he told me I need those in order not to run out of them while I'm not there. So 80 years old, 87 years old, working every day, and you cannot stay without those. So these are the this is new medicine
It
because
is.
it's
It is.
universal, it's preventive, and it is fighting the sickness that exists. So that's why we have this symposium. It's a golden field. So Professor Inufusa has the strongest antioxidants
Dr.
in the
Florian,
world, and he
sorry to interrupt. We've been talking a lot. We've been talking for months already, years,
yeah.
about
Hmm.
sustainability. And this is sustainability. Quality of life is purely sustainability,
Yeah.
isn't it? I
As,
mean,
as
for
I
example, this
mentioned,
example of your friends and my father, this is sustainability,
correct.
right?
That's what it is. So because I mentioned there are three criteria, which
Uh
always
huh.
we forget, by the way. I would say environment, environment, environment. No, environment it's one. To be sustainable, it has to protect the environment. Economic growth, we forget it all the time. It's out of the window. Nobody
Hmm.
thinks about that. And but no, only when they need it. And the other one is social development, social advancement. Is the third criteria.
Okay.
What does it mean,
Yeah,
social?
we see it on
So
screen
what
now.
is social? Yeah,
Mhm.
what is
We
social?
see on screen
Social is
the
exactly
framework,
the
FLOGEN framework.
the criteria is on top. So this is social development. Social development. In social development is human life, development of human life index, getting rid of sicknesses, getting rid of cancer, and assuring quality of life. That's what we're speaking about. This is one of the criteria of sustainability. You can protect the environment. If you don't have development of economy, if you don't have quality of life of human beings, forget it. We are not sustainable. And our contribution on this has been famous in this. These are three pillars that makes or destroys sustainability. One, it is science and technology. That's Professor Inufusa invention. That's the first one. That's the first pillar. Without that, it doesn't exist. Pillars are equally important, but we have to start with science technology. And this government and management. Government should help this science and technology, should fund the research of Professor Inufusa, quadrupling the amount of money going to his laboratory, because the results are phenomenal. And then so
They
it's
are.
government, it's management, yeah. So this is help. So without that, this is health of people, and health of people is government. One of the purpose of the government is to help people, to help quality of life of people. It is why the government exists. So this is why they need to spend money and to go there. And the third is
Exactly.
education and civil society. Education is we have to prepare a new generation of scientists and to develop new technologies in Professor Inufusa lab and in institute and other sites to do this. Civil society also awareness of this. That's a kind of work we're doing today also with our Symposium and with this interview. So you cannot do it, and this is you can do it one sickness at a time. You
Yes.
go to the cancer, you go dementia, treat dementia, you go this and that. It's too expensive. Sometimes it might work, might not work. But if we tackle the oxidative stress, so as Professor Yoshikawa said, oxidative stress is very important for human beings. The issue is the balance. If we have much more
Exactly.
than needed, we have to bring this down. And then Professor Inufusa invention does 20x and 20x and 20 MT control. And that's
Uh,
why this is also oxidative stress is the purpose of this symposium dedicated to Professor Inufusa, colleague that has worked scientifically. Uh, we probably in the next live we can also invite Professor Amatore on the scientific side in proof the of 20 and also the condition that makes it more effective.
Very good. Excellent.
So
Professor Inufusa, what can one expect about the symposium? Yes, the oxidative stress symposium. What? Imagine I watched this live. Yes, and I say, oh, very interesting. I want to know more, and I want to go to SIPS and take part in what am I going to find there?
Yes. Florian explained about the important three pillars. Okay.
Yes.
Now, recent 2-3 years, one virus destroyed these three pillars. As you know, that the coronavirus infections.
Exactly.
Yeah, our social and science and then other many important thing was destroyed.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, environmental, economic, and
Yes.
social
Exactly.
really damaged by that one uh, you know one small virus. And then in my symposium, we'll have a section of the coronavirus infection,
mhm.
because once that the coronavirus infected the humans, this virus producing a lots of oxidative stress. And then, as you know, people infected quickly develop that pneumonia, and some people dies very short times.
Mm-hmm.
That is caused by oxidative stress. And when that this COVID infections started in China, there is no publication of research on oxidative stress. However, I thought it, I estimated this infection makes oxidative stress because main patient who going to that severe condition or die is old or having the basic disease like a diabetes, cancer, and so on. These patients have a essentially high oxidative stress already. And then these people had the corona infections, more oxidatives coming, okay? So that
Okay.
lots of problems coming. And then it was very interesting, young patient like age 10, and by the X-ray, this boy had pneumonia, but no symptoms. Okay,
Okay.
so our oxidative stress is lowest time is when we born. Okay, so that new baby to that like age around 30, we are very low in oxidative stress essentially, and then
Okay.
also they have a natural antioxidant power in the
Mhm.
bodies. So I thought if that coronavirus infected the small children, they has no symptoms or no severe conditions. So I estimated that coronavirus is oxidative stress disease. And then after that, my estimation, like half years later, many publications are published. Um, Coronavirus producing that oxidative stress, that is the problem of that severe condition, like immune damages or embolisms and so on. So I would like to have a section of the coronavirus infection and then oxidative stress in my symposium. That is a really topical things.
Yes,
Yep.
it is.
Very
It is.
interesting.
It is the first in the topics. So in the topics is coronavirus, virus
Yep.
Uh-huh.
infection, allergy in the website, and this is the main one. And then we have other topics with aging, sleep apnea, reproduction, bacterial flora, and cancer, etc. So all these are subjects, and there is a keywords here at the end when you can see that what is all covered. So these are the co-chairs we have from Professor Inufusa, Christian France, Professor Chen, China, uh, Professor Huang from China for Wuhan city, the same where it started, and
I see.
Professor Gur from Netherlands. So all these, Professor Inufusa concentrated in COVID because it's new and very important. But the effects of these are, it's aging, oxidative stress increase with aging. Even if you have zero sickness, with age, oxidative stress goes up. If you are able to bring it down, use the aging. And
Is
in
it wrong
the
to say that, Dr. Florian, sorry, Professor Inufusa, is it wrong to say that oxidative stress is like you get rusty with age? I mean, you get uh, uh, like oxygen acting on metal, for example. It's the same process in human beings.
Yeah. Same process. As you
Uh-huh.
know, if you cut the apple, okay,
Yes.
and
Uh-huh.
leaving in the air, that's
Okay.
coming to turn to brown, right?
Exactly.
Yes,
That's
that is
oxidation.
yeah, and
Hmm.
air had the oh, yeah
Uh-huh.
air oxidant is react
Okay.
with that apples, and then it's gonna lasting. And then
Okay.
another thing is if you put in that metal nail,
Uh-huh.
iron nail or
Yes.
hairpin, something put in the water, it's coming to lasting to
Hmm.
brown, right? Yeah,
Exactly.
that is the same
I see.
reactions. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
water oxygens react with the metals and
Hmm.
lasting, so that our body is lasting.
I see.
yeah,
Interesting. Interesting.
that's aging.
Dr.
That's
Florian,
aging.
that's aging.
Yep, aging.
Uh, I've left on the, it's on the screen here. If people want more information about this and other symposium, you just have to go to flogen.org slash SIPS 2022, right?
Yes. So the symposium there, all the top are there. So we
Uh-huh.
mentioned aging, but it's sleep apnea. Sleep apnea, for example, is huge today.
Oh,
Many people
serious?
are being, oh yes,
Interesting.
many, it's a
Interesting.
huge expense. Professor Inufusa know better, but as far as I know, huge. It's a very United States. It's million or millions of dollars are spent. And what is the most effective treatment? Not treatment, regulator, because there is no treatment.
Okay.
They suggest to keep a mask while sleeping during the night and breathing oxygen,
Yes,
which is not
exactly.
comfortable at all. So I mean, it is something you can nobody can want to sleep with a mask with a tube.
Hmm.
Well, sure,
Exactly.
but the alternative it is antioxidative stress. 20, correct, Professor Inufusa?
Yes.
So
Actually, sleep apnea patient is many, but the people is not aware. Like in Japan, 1.5 millions patient might be exist, but
Wow.
but the treatment was on just like 5% of them. Okay, so what the
they do not
treatment is
know.
like yeah, Florian said, mask and then pressure on the respirations.
Yes.
That is not the basic solutions. And then
Mm.
sleep apnea, not 100%. Several reasons exist, like dropping that tongue to the throat. That is
Yes.
mechanical problems.
Hmm.
But 60 to 70% of sleep apnea patient has
Uh-huh.
increased oxidative stress and then some inflammations.
I
That's
see.
meaning somewhere inflammations occurs and then oxidative stress increasing.
Hmm.
So that makes inflammation to the brains, okay? So that you
Okay.
cannot sleep deeply. At that time, sleep apnea starting. Okay, so that sleep
Okay.
apnea is really big problem because maybe you remember that Exxon Valdez, its oil tanker was
Yes.
crushed to that near Canada, right?
Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
at that
In
time,
Alaska, right? In
Alaska,
Alaska.
yes, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. First officer has sleep apnea, and then he cannot wake up in his watching time, so that SIPS was problem. Okay, and then
I
another
see.
case is the space shuttle Challenger that was exploded just after that launch. Okay, and
Yes.
then um, uh, that was caused by at one small parts, but very
Hmm.
important. And then
Okay.
that parts production company
Hmm.
had technician who had sleep apnea, so that
Okay.
space shuttle Challenger was exploded by a sleep apnea,
Hmm.
and then in worldwide, a lot of huge loss. Of course, it's a human life and then economic damage by this disease. So I think not overall, but in my impression is 60 or 70% of sleep apnea will be controlled by my invention.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. Now, I have a question for you about,
Yes.
but before I ask the question, I want to show here a video that was produced especially for to promote the symposium. So I don't. First time it's going to be shown.
Yeah,
So let's see.
probably.
It's,
Yes, that's the
yeah.
first time.
First time,
probably
right?
we can,
We are going to
but
premiere
probably
now.
okay. I thought probably we can continue and then okay.
No, no, but just to here, then we continue in a
Just
while.
as a pause.
Yeah.
Just as a pause.
Yeah, very interesting. Though. I hadn't seen it yet. Very, very good. Congratulations to the team there about it. But continuing here, Dr. Florian, uh, this when we
Yes.
talk about sustainability, we talk about SIPS, and we talk about this symposium specifically. This is one of 50 symposiums, right? And as you said, uh, for the past editions of SIPS, you started mixing not only industrial processes, but other fields of science, like medicine, inside medicine, oxidative stress. What is the importance, in your opinion, of this mixing of fields of science in the same, not only science, but as you said in a while, and you always mention
Yeah.
the 360-degree view, because you talk
Yeah.
about legal aspects, science, engineering, medicine, aerospace, technology. I mean, a little of everything. What is the importance of this mixing?
It's equal to life. Everything is life. So without this is how you this definition. You need all of them.
I
You need
see.
to have success. You need to be able to understand. Surely not in details every field. You should be a specialist in one field, but you have a general knowledge about all fields because they interfere with each other. We recently published a short video from Professor Farid Murat, Nobel Prize in Medicine.
Yes.
The way the whole SIPS 2012 is dedicated to him, to his life achievement, and he specifically says that when you bring chemists and physicists together, physical
Yes.
physical chemistry is born. If you bring
Uh huh.
business people with biologists, biochemistry and chemist is biotechnology is developed. So this is the key. Today, it's not just one specific field of science. It's synergy. This uses this synergy. Make parallel with the invention of Professor Inufusa. Professor Inufusa was the strong. Why 20 is so successful? The key, the worldwide patent, is a combination, is a synergy, is a combination of different ingredients. It's not one
Hmm.
single component. It is a combination. But this uses the synergy of all of them. The ratio is
I see.
important. So this is SIPS in itself. We use the synergy of different fields of life, and this is equal to life. This science
Very
has
good.
been divided in different specifics in different fields because of our ignorance. So chemists were in one field because they're starting with eprovets and chemical components, and then medicine
Yes.
was not it's not even considered a science because we have Academy of Science and we have Academy of Medicine. But actually, it's
Yes.
the same thing, but they're still separate. So this is the bridge we are building between different fields, and everything. Without the technology, but this is the key. Is the synergy. Why it is important? Because the synergy of different components. And to mention a paradox, probably Professor Inufusa don't want to say it, but this is my from our discussion with him. A
Okay.
pharmaceutical, medicine today, by definition, It is one component, one molecule. If there are two components in it, it's not called pharmaceutical. So this is the paradox of the past, still exists.
Oh no,
So yes, correct,
I
Professor
didn't know
Inufusa?
this.
Yes, Professor Inufusa can explain better. That's
Professor
correct?
Inufusa, can you explain this to us?
Yes. For example,
Mm-hmm.
almost all worldwide
Yes.
pharmaceutical company failed to develop um, pharmaceutical for that dimensions. They
Okay.
spend a huge money and then time, but it did not succeed. It's very simple. Pharmaceutical is authorized only one, ingredient or
Okay.
single component, some protein, chemical, enzyme, something like that.
Okay.
And then, as you know, dementia is like Alzheimer disease is
Uh-huh.
not simple. It's very, very complex disease. Okay, not
Mm-hmm.
only that like uh, amyloid beta protein causes that all
Okay.
disease. But, almost all pharmaceutical company try to eliminate only one things, amyloid beta. But that is a kind of garbage from the brain cells. There is a lot of many garbage exist, over 20 or 30, something like that. So that
Okay.
if one garbage eliminated, but the disease does not improve, of course. And then my production, my invention 20 is contained that eight ingredient, and then that works in many aspects like mitochondria and energy production and reduce that oxidative stress and then some metabolism increasing or something like that. So
Okay.
that works for that Alzheimer disease. So it was
Mm-hmm.
already double-blind clinical test was existed, and then publication was like 3 years, 1918. We published that result on the journal of Alzheimer disease. So that is world first data of the prevention of the dementia. But almost all pharmaceutical company could not achieve. That is the reason, because that the pharmaceutical is allowed only a single component.
One
Yeah.
Very
component.
interesting. Yeah.
I
That's
didn't know that.
that's
Very, very
yeah.
interesting. This because that's why sometimes you have to take, depending on the disease, you have like 10 different pills instead of taking only one. Never thought about
Yeah,
this.
well,
Now,
yeah,
Doctor Inufusa,
that's
I want to get out of the symposium a little bit and talk about the trendy MT control. Yes.
Yes.
Uh, how advanced is this field of research? Yes, in the world, because as I said, for me, it's something so new. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. Yes, I'm a journalist, but I feel that sometimes that this is so like, I mean, this is so new. I never read anything about it in the media. I never saw it on television or anything like this. We saw, of course, there's the intense lobby of the pharmaceutical industry. We know this, yes. But how developed is this in terms of professionals adopting it, doctors adopting it all over the world?
okay.
For example, my father's doctor, I talked to him about it. He had never heard of it. Yes. I'm even getting some documentation to show him because it might benefit other patients too. Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking here about cure, I'm talking here about quality of life. Yes.
Yes.
Uh, I don't know how deep you went to talk about cure or anything. I'm not considering this. Yes, I'm just talking about quality of life. About,
Well,
as you
cure
said, you
is
defined
also
very well.
it's
Energy, both, yes.
it's
But I mean,
both. No,
this
it's
is
not
going
only
to be a
energy. It's
greater
both.
surprise. Yeah, it's going to be a greater surprise.
Yes.
But I mean, what I mean is how spread is this among doctors?
Yes. One thing is it is not the pharmaceuticals cannot
Yes.
advertise effect. Okay, even
Okay.
we published many data on the effectiveness, like dementia and long COVID, and then
Mhm.
side effect of that corona vaccines. But we
Yes.
cannot use these data for the advertisement because it's a supplement. That is a problem.
I see.
But
I see.
yeah, but many collaborator having many data, collaborator producing that the data of the 20 and the 20 meter control. Now we have planning to publish almost 10 new manuscripts to the medical
Okay.
journals, and then step by steps. But the important thing is people who suffer that disease will be coming better if they take that my product. So
Okay.
we think that anti-aging, something like that, for the advertisement.
I see.
Especially now, we selling, producing company selling only in Japan,
Uh
and
huh.
then now Florian kindly applied to that FDA Canada, and then already approved. Maybe we can start to that selling product worldwide from now,
Interesting.
maybe in Brazil.
Oh, I hope so. Serious.
Yeah.
I really hope so. And I've even talked to Dr. Florian about this because I mean, this is such a fantastic thing. And uh, as I said, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. Yes, but I mean, this has to be spread all over the world. And the good thing about SIPS, Florian, is this: that you can
Exactly.
bring innovation like this. This is a big innovation, more than anything I've seen, like techniques of medicine and things. I mean, such a research, such a supplement, as you said, it's treated as a supplement, not as a medication, but it has to be spread all over. I mean, this is revolutionary in terms of a medical treatment for sure. Or as you said, you
And
cannot
your
call it
father proved
treatment,
that.
but yeah, yeah, I'm really
No, it
amazed.
is.
Serious.
Actually, it is. From the publication of Dr. Inufusa in the field in mouses, the tumors, cancer tumors,
Yes.
shrink with while using 2D. Sure, this is on mouse until now, but this
Uh-huh.
can be applied to humans. But what's the problem with this? Since there are so many fields of application of 2Ds, proving in every single sickness takes time,
Okay.
and
Yes.
and scientifically proving the effect also is complicated because you have to find two different groups of people.
Hmm.
Some giving them placebo, some giving them real one, and consider the group totally identical. So all this, but since there is no risk on using those, you don't lose anything, and just try and see the results. Like your father, I send it to you, and he became in 1 2 weeks he started walking again. So
Hmm.
this
Exactly. Exactly.
this is a disadvantage of having invention like this. It takes time to be proven, but as long as it is not a risk, you can take it and see the results. This is the best way of
Hmm.
proceeding. So this, for example, I was in Czech Republic just last month,
Okay. Okay.
and the Professor Kolomaznik, that so I visit his laboratory in university. He is 82 years old,
I
and
see.
he didn't have enough energy. I had my 20s there. I had my 20s
Uh-huh.
there, and then I gave him a package. Just I told him, try and let me 1 month. 1 month is not yet there, so I'm just curious. I'm letting him. I'm waiting what he's gonna say. So uh, actually, in Brazil, that I was also 1 week ago. It was one of my colleagues. Actually, Fernandez. We in last week we had this live we had from the plant. You remember, Fernandez?
Oh yes, yes, that engineer from the plant. Yes, I do.
Exactly. That we had this view for this one for advanced materials. His father
Hmm.
was a little bit sick. He had dementia. He was a bit having some psychology crisis, etc., etc. And then I
Hmm.
gave one. Actually, I started this package, but I gave whatever remains. I gave it to him, and he gave it to his father. I don't know the results yet because this was just last week.
Hmm.
But this is a way, since there is there was no side effects. There is no damage. It doesn't hurt to try it and see the effects because, as I said, since it is applied in many sicknesses, it takes time prove it scientifically, the effect. It was proven scientifically in dementia. Now it is totally proven in dementia. There are many articles about cancer, etc., etc. So it takes time, but this is the best way to try and see it. If there is no side effect, there is no damage, you can take it. And that's why is also the symposium that we're speaking about. So
I
I've
see.
been taking it every every day since Professor Inufusa gave it to me, and then
Hmm.
it is preventively. I don't need it, but it's good. It's better to prevent than
Of
to cure
course, it's
sickness.
much easier. Much easier.
Yeah,
Much
exactly.
easier.
And to mention, by the way, these are all the subjects. We are speaking for 20, but 20 is also covers all the subjects of symposium. So
Okay.
they are interchangeable. So
Hmm.
so when you said you're going to take it out go a little bit out of the symposium, no, these are some of the symposium. So it's interchangeable. So one of the things is, for example, reproduction. Okay,
Okay.
alcohol, smoke, abuse, electromagnetic waves, radiation, microwaves, etc. These are all damage the reproduction system in males and females. So the quality of sperms has been gone down for several years, and also the oxidative stress damage the it is written there in women reproductive systems. And 20
I see.
helps antioxidative oxidative stress here it is related to that. So Professor Inufusa can explain a little bit shortly how this affects.
Okay, Professor Inufusa?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Actually, for the reproductions, was damaged by many things. For the
Hmm.
example, um, cell phones. Okay, if you
Hmm.
put the cell phone to the men's pocket in the front side, that is coming closely to the testis. Okay, and then people who put into that pocket cell phone to the pocket,
Yes.
that damage that testis, and
Okay.
then uh, already 40 or 50 famous medical publications exist. These people have a low number of that sperm, and then a high number of that mutations, and
Hmm.
then lower the movement activity, because that the
I will
movement.
never use my cell phone in the pocket again.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So that cell phone is that damage
Uh-huh.
that the reproductions. Okay, so that the
Yes.
many things, radiations, and cars exhaust gases, and then
Uh-huh.
a lot of things gonna damage to the reproductions. That reason why is just from the oxidative stress.
Okay.
So I tried that the monitoring ankate for that people couple who willing to have a baby but cannot have over 2 years, and then it has succeeded 32%. 32% have
Wow.
a baby in 1 year. Okay, that
Wow.
is very higher number compared to that medical treatment. That is
Hmm.
like a 6 to 11%. So the oxidative stress reduction is very important for the
Hmm.
reproductions to having a baby.
Incredible. Incredible. So, Dr. Florian, uh, we are
Yes.
getting to the end of our. We've been talking for an
Yeah.
hour. I didn't even notice it. It's like
Yes,
we've been
because
talking for
it's a
10
very
minutes.
interesting
Yeah,
subject.
very
Yes.
interesting, very interesting. And I'm looking forward to meeting you again, Professor Inufusa, in Phuket Island in November. Yes.
November.
And we're getting to the end of our talk, but before we end, I'd like to show another video here. Yes, it's to show a little bit about Thailand and a little bit about the paradise we're going to meet there at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. SIPS, Sustainable Industrial Processing Summit and Use and Exhibition. Sustainability through Science and Exhibition. That's it. We are
And
getting to the end
technology.
of our and technology. Sorry, this is sustainability through
That's
science
okay.
and technology, and we are getting to the
They're
end of our
interchangeable.
broadcast tonight. Yes, interchangeable. So I'd like
Yeah.
to open the microphone for you to say your final considerations on this broadcast, and we are going to have more in the near future for sure. Professor Inufusa, please.
Yes. Thank you very much for that inviting that this video streamings. I hope that many people in many fields will be joined at SIPS 2022, and then they will have a enjoyable and then lots of learning from that SIPS meetings. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor, and see you in Thailand. And
Yes,
Dr.
of course.
Florian, thank you. Dr. Florian, your final consideration.
Well, SIPS is open to anyone. So anyone that has an invention in oxidative stress or in any other field, it's welcomed as long as it is scientific. So there is no censor, there is no refusal of, on in terms of, unless the quality is very low, but in terms of the point of view, in terms of means. So it is an open for everyone, summit. There is no big brother that can watch over you. You are free to represent your scientific discoveries, inventions, etc., etc. So as long as this science uh, and as I so not inventors, not only people listening to know what I mean. How can I use this antioxidant and oxidative stress? Well, there are oxidants in the markets. It's very important because we forgot to mention this. So vitamin C itself is an antioxidant, but this is one
That's it.
component. There are others. They say antioxidant, antioxidant. The key here is the ratio, the synergy, the ratio between the different components. That makes a difference. It's a world apart. It is an
I
ocean
see.
apart, dividing multi synergy. And this is the worldwide patent of Dr. Inufusa, Professor Inufusa. The ratio, this makes a difference. You can find, okay, single molecule component antioxidant. Everyone says antioxidant, but the quality is here and the power is at the innovation. So all people that scientists dealing with oxidative stress are welcome to join to present all of their discoveries, but also people that want to know how they can use it. So it's open to everyone. So it's open to run oxidative stress. That's why we are honoring Professor Yoshikawa for his scientific contribution in the field, but anyone else is welcome to join and present. So it's open to anyone without any censor or without any. We are neutral. We accept anyone as long as it is scientific. We don't take sides. We mention Twin Deep because it deserves it. It's the strongest antioxidant in the world, and you're also is a witness of that.
Yes, exactly.
So welcome to anyone. You are welcome, and you will enjoy science, technology, and also social.
Well, very good, Dr. Florian, Professor Inufusa. Good morning for you. Have a great day today. And you, Dr. Florian, have a great evening, great night. And everybody who's watching us from 3 continents, from Asia, North America, and South America, Japan, Brazil, and Canada, we are saying goodbye. I'm Marío Linhares, and see you next Thursday at 10 p.m. GMT. I mean, 7 p.m. in Rio de Janeiro, 6 p.m. in Canada, 7 a.m. in Japan. And depending on where you are in Europe, it's going to be around 10, 11, 12 midnight. That's it. Well, it's global. We are around the world because science has no
Yeah,
borders, right, Dr. Florian?
borders.
That's it,
Sustainability without
everybody.
borders, science without borders.
That's it. That's it. And I'm Marío Linhares, and thank you very much. See you next Thursday. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.